The Treaty of Versailles, an overview. The Treaty of Versailles was one of the peace treaties at the end of World War I. It concluded the state of war between Germany and the Allied powers. Signed on June 28, 1919, exactly 5 years after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, an event that had sparked the beginning of the war, the treaty is noted for its harsh and controversial terms imposed on Germany. Background: World War I, also known as the Great War, spanned from 1914 to 1918 and involved many of the world's major powers, divided into two opposing alliances, the Allies, including France, Britain, Russia, and later, the United States, and the Central Powers, mainly consisting of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. After 4 years of devastating combat, the Allies emerged victorious when Germany agreed to an armistice in November 1918, leading to the peace negotiations at the Paris Peace Conference in 1919. Key terms of the treaty. The Treaty of Versailles included numerous clauses, with several key provisions being particularly significant and having long-lasting impacts. Territorial losses: Germany was required to relinquish several territories. Alsace and Lorraine were returned to France, Eupen and Malmedy were given to Belgium, North Schleswig voted to become part of Denmark, and various other territories were ceded to Poland, including the creation of the Polish Corridor to give Poland access to the Baltic Sea. Military restrictions: the treaty drastically limited the German military to prevent future aggression. The German army was restricted to 100,000 men, and the country was prohibited from having an air force, submarines, and only allowed 6 naval ships. No German troops were allowed in the Rhineland, a demilitarized zone along the Rhine River bordering France. War Guilt Clause: Article 231, known as the War Guilt Clause, placed full responsibility for the war on Germany and its allies. This clause justified the reparations that Germany was required to pay. Reparations: Germany was obligated to pay reparations to the Allied governments for the damage caused by the war. The exact amount was not determined in the treaty itself, but was later set at 132 billion gold marks, an enormous sum that was reduced several times in subsequent years. Consequences and reactions. The Treaty of Versailles had profound effects on Germany and Europe. Economic hardship: the reparations and territorial losses severely impacted Germany's economy. Inflation and unemployment soared, leading to widespread social unrest. Political fallout: the treaty's punitive terms fostered humiliation and betrayal among many Germans, contributing to the rise of extremist political movements, including Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party. Global impact: the treaty's harsh treatment of Germany is often cited as a contributing factor to World War II, as it left a legacy of bitterness and resentment in German society. New nations and borders: the treaty redrew the map of Europe, leading to the creation of several new nations and adjustments to borders, which contributed to tensions in subsequent years. The United States and the treaty. While U.S. President Woodrow Wilson played a significant role in the Paris Peace Conference, his vision for peace, outlined in his 14 points, was largely overlooked in favor of harsher measures proposed by France and Britain. Wilson's key contribution, the League of Nations, was included in the treaty, but the U.S. Senate refused to ratify the Treaty of Versailles, concerned about entangling the United States in European affairs. The U.S. ultimately negotiated separate peace treaties with Germany and the other Central Powers. Lasting impact. The Treaty of Versailles is remembered as a cautionary tale about the dangers of imposing overly punitive conditions on a defeated opponent. It failed to create a stable and peaceful Europe and instead set the stage for World War II. The treaty's legacy influenced the approach taken after the Second World War, leading to the Marshall Plan, which aimed to rebuild, not punish, the war-torn European nations. This detailed review covers the essential aspects of the Treaty of Versailles, highlighting its key terms, impacts, and the geopolitical changes it caused.